replay viewers. This is Hallie Sherman from Speech Time Fun, and I am here on my Wednesday night tips and tricks night giving you therapy ideas in a pinch. I don't know about you, but there are some days when I have to throw out the plan, or oops, I forgot a plan, or maybe I had a plan and the photocopy machine broke, or I never got to the laminator. There are those moments, and I'm going to just give you some quick ideas that you can do in those moments. This way you don't feel like you're wasting your students' time, and if any administrator walks by, you can justify what you are doing. Because let me know, I have been there. Okay, and probably a lot more recently as I am getting ready for summer break. Kids are in summer mode, I'm in summer mode, and this is the kind of therapy I do a lot of the time, okay, in these moments. All right, let's put this bad boy around and let's get started. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Everyone, how are you? Whoop, sorry about that. I am Hallie Sherman. I am from Speech Time Fun, and I am a speech language pathologist working in the schools. And if you don't know anything about me, that's, you know, the gist. I'm all about quick ideas, having fun, using what you have, therapy in a pinch, basically. That's what I'm all about, but having fun and still being functional at the same exact time and still meeting all the IEP goals and all that fun stuff and seeing results. So today, I figured a lot of people are on summer vacation already, or you're like me who's like just struggling just to get done, or you're in between summer school or about to start summer school, or you're starting summer school right now. So I figured it's a great time to talk about therapy in a pinch using what you have. And what's one thing we all have? Board games. Am I right? Do we all have board games? I do. I have a lot of them. And my students are always begging to play them. And I'm always like, sorry, we have to read a story. Or sorry, you know, if we're playing sorry, we have to do these task cards with it. Well, sometimes I don't have the task cards ready. True story. True story. Sometimes I print them. Sometimes they make it to the laminator. Sometimes they don't. Or I run out of paper, or I run out of colored ink. Things happen. Or, you know, you had all intentions of going to the photocopy machine and the photocopy machine is broken, or there's a long line. Am I speaking stories that does this sound a little familiar? A lot of times throughout the year, I can easily pull something that I have in a drawer that I have yet to use. But at this time of the school year, I've used it all. I've used all those, like, oops activities, or my kids are just, like, done with them, or I'm done with them. So, some of my favorite board games and how you can, like, make them speech goals related, okay? This is our little secret, that when you're playing games, how you can say, oh, we're going to just work on speech goals, but we're really playing a game, okay? My first game, Uno. Your kids love Uno? My kids love Uno. My kids want to play Uno all the time. But when you're playing Uno, other than, yes, we're talking to each other, okay, sure, you know, right? How else do you work on goals, right? I tell my students, you throw down a wild card or one of the other wilds, draw twos, I'm going to give you a question. And I come up with one on the top of my head. We work on synonyms. I'm going to give me a synonym for angry. Go. The kid that throws it down. Simple as that. There's a therapy idea without even prepping anything. It's in my head. I just came up with just different words. Or you can work on adjectives, or you work on verb tenses. When someone throws down any wild card, just give them something. Give me a WH question. Whatever you're working on, just give them something. Say you have to say your sound 5 times. Why not, right? Done. That's one game that I love to do. And any administrator that walks by, we're totally working on a game, a goal, I swear. And all the kids know that. And, we set the ground rule. Like, this is the rule. Any wild card, you're getting a question. Makes them think twice about throwing down those wild cards. I don't know about you, my students just love throwing them down all the time. So, that's game number 1. Game number 2, Jenga. Jenga, okay? So simple. Pull out a piece. First of all, you can do the prepositions. There you go, okay? And before you can put the piece on, you have to answer a question. Just come up with one on your head. You don't need, you don't need a task card or anything like that. Just come up with one. Why not, right? Okay? Or what I had my students do is when the Jenga thing fell, they had to build things, make it try to look like a category, and we had to guess what those block creations were. We just did describing. We did some guessing, some predicting skills. We worked on so many things while playing Jenga. Okay? And that's another way to easily therapy in a pinch, okay? I'm not saying that this is the ideal thing I love to do, but every once in a while, I'm being real now, okay? So 1 was Uno, 2 is Jenga. Okay, number 3, Trouble. Do you like Trouble? That's another popular one. While user up. Yes, exactly. It's another one. I like that idea. Answer a question while they use. Exactly. So another idea for Trouble is pick a random number. If you roll the number 3, you get a question. Done. Why not? Okay. If you land on someone and that makes that person go home, you get to ask, that person that goes home gets to ask that person a question. There you go. There's another idea in a pinch how you could take the game Trouble and work on therapy at the same exact time. Just pick a random number, or each number has a different representation, or you have to say your target down that many times for whatever you rolled. Simple as that. Okay, so that's 3 games. Are you ready for another one? Okay, 4. Chutes and Ladders. Is that another popular one in your therapy rooms? I'm trying to think of games that everyone seems to have. Okay, so on the board of Chutes and Ladders are like actions and stuff, and there's like opposites. So you can easily just play that game and have the kids just describe the pictures that they land on in complete sentences, or answer questions, or do the opposites, or describe. Basically, if they land on a kid on the board game, just make them do something for that. Simple as that. That's another game that you can do and do anything with in a pinch, okay? These are in a pinch situations, okay? I'm not condoning doing this all the time, okay? And the 5th game that I'm going to describe how you can easily come up with any therapy idea in a pinch is, can you guess? Do you have any guesses? What do you think I'm going to say? The last and final game? Candyland! Of course! Spot It. Oh, that's another one. Goldfish. Those are also really good. Those are good. My kids really struggle with Connect 4. Goldfish, that's another good one. You can always do something. In a pinch, take those games out. Goldfish, Connect 4, Spot It. Rory's Story Cubes is there. You go. Just grab it and you're good to go. But if you don't have those games, most therapists have Candyland, okay? So you can just make a rule, like anytime you land on a yellow, you have to answer a question. Or if you get to one of the food items, if you pick a food item, or you land on it, you have to describe it. Use the EET and describe, all the different places along the path till you get to the thing. Simple as that. Just take the boards and find some way to describe it, answer questions, go over vocabulary. You can take any of those types of board games and make it work in a pinch. Like I said, I'm not condoning doing this all the time. But if you had those days where, you thought you had a CSE meeting and then it was canceled and all of a sudden you're pulling a group and you had nothing planned, that's happened to me. Has that happened to you? Like you thought you were... Ned's Head is a great one. There you go. Love Ned's Head. That's another good one. Pop the Pig. I make that, let's describe the burgers before you put it in his mouth. Where is it going? The other day I was just working on the SH sound. The chef ate. And then we worked on verb tenses. You could make any post-it and make it totally relevant. I did the same thing with Battleship. Remember my student working on SH? The Battleship is something as simple as that. Find a game with the sound, or work on answering questions, verb tenses. Make anything. Happy. Ooh, I gotta look that one up, Liz. Happy something. That's a good one. I'll have to check that one out. My students I'm always trying to find fun new games that keep them entertained. Oh, I have to you're always finding good fun new ones. I have to check that one out too. I told my students that over the summer I'm going to be adding more to the mix because they're already getting sick of the ones I have. Even though I have a lot, and they tell me that I have a lot and I'm running out of space to put them. But I have to find some new games. So if you have any recommendations of games for in a pinch, or how you can easily use any game with a task card, or shout out. Ooh, right. I'll have to check that out. That's awesome. Spotted games are awesome. I have spotted. I haven't used it as much as I'd like to, so I'm not as comfortable with it yet. I prefer. I have to play more with it. But I love any, the barrier games, any of those types of things, puzzles. Mystery Garden. Ooh, I have to check that one out. What anyone what is it? Suspend. I like that one. My students love that game. By the Melissa and Doug Suspend game. My students love that one. What else do I have that my students are really loving these days? Bop It is always a good one. Work on listening skills. Bop It is a good one. So any of those games, I'm all up for it, especially in a pinch. You can make anything work. Come up with the drilling in your head, and you're good to go. So I hope this helps. Scare Girl. What's that? I have to look that. Is that a game? Hobby verb games. I'll have to check that out. Check out Battleship. I was about to say. Oops, it didn't sound right. Scary Girlies. All right, so I hope this helps you with therapy in a pinch, because I know we've all been there. Hashtag true story. Okay? I'd like to say that my therapy room is always, totally organized and always going as I planned. But sometimes you have to nix the plan, or you're not prepared sometimes. So this is just things that life happens. Exactly. I'm just telling a true story. So if you are struggling to get to summer like me, and you need some in a pinch ideas, or for next year, keep these stored up in here, or if not, don't worry about it. It's in my YouTube, and it'll be on my blog soon. So not to worry. All right. Have a good night. Enjoy, and I will see you soon. Take care. Good night. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for tuning in.